Alright lads and lasses, welcome along to another Tuppence Tuesday. Can't believe we're in another week. Tell you what, this is getting really good. I'm actually really enjoying doing these videos. Wanted to talk to you today about one of them topics people keep asking us. Keep saying, right, are you like a business intelligence analyst or like a data scientist or a business data analyst? What? I've got no idea. Do you know what? Half of these names are just made up. I don't understand most of it myself, and I've been working in the field for long enough. I think people just like to have different names for things. So I thought we'd do a thing about the elephant in the room, as it were. Aye, what on earth are we doing? Now, I can look and people say, oh, data science, it's like this, isn't it? Like, it's about pulling together all these bits and pieces. But I can't find a consistent data science pyramid. And when you're about maths and the numbers, which is kind of what we're all about really with data and that, it kind of gets a bit dodgy and a bit sketchy. If I haven't know, how are you supposed to know? I mean, ultimately, the whole point of this, though, is about understanding your data. So how do we understand what data? I tell you what, it's really simple. Hi. Where does data science begin? What's business intelligence? What's advanced data analytics? What's it all about? Fundamentally, data science is about saying, we've got some data, I want to actually draw some knowledge out of it, use some scientific principles and apply them to me data. That's the extent of it, aye? It's not rocket science, it's not highly complicated as a concept. The pyramid is key. If you don't get that pyramid right, it all starts to go wrong for you. Had a quick look here, just pulled some data in, just for the sake of this really. It's just local libraries data. Libraries from Newcastle upon Tyne. See, people are getting books, people do read up here. So, we've got what ideas, yeah? And one of the things that we want to understand is what big data is. Now, big data isn't a difficult thing. The challenge that you get with big data is about understanding how am I going to get something out of it. So the important thing that we have in the 21st century and our data-driven culture is that we've got to start to think not in terms of the data that we can get, because heck, we can get data anywhere, we can harvest data, we can pull it in from all sorts of places now. That's not the challenge. The challenge isn't getting the data out. The challenge is getting intelligence, getting information out of our data. And there's lots of things and lots of different ways that people are trying to do it. Now, the simplest way is kind of the old school traditional ways. So maybe whack it in an Excel spreadsheet, might do a pivot table on it, might do a couple of other things, maybe make a nice pretty chart. And that's fine. And that does a great deal of jobs for you, and it does a great deal of work for you. The problem that you've got with that is it can be really time consuming. I mean, I know when I used to do that, it used to take me 3 days at least to do month end. And when you're thinking month end, we kind of need to know what's happening at the end of the, quite quickly. How did we do? We are right. Is the gaffer going to be happy? Do I need to look for a new job? Waiting 3 days, that can be like a lifetime. And then, can you imagine when you make a mistake or if there's a mistake in the data? And honestly, that happens a lot. So that kind of thing is difficult, man. We've got to get away from that. We want to be able to standardize what we do with our data. And by standardizing what we do with our data, it means we can get a lot more data. And then because we've got more data and casting our nets wider or being able to compare bigger time frames or bigger product sets or bigger locational sets, it makes it possible to get more information, more business value out of it. But fundamentally, let's not forget, looking at just my library data, I might say, oh, I've got all this data that's coming through from all these loans that are gone out in books and stuff like that across the years. And I might just have, there's only 104 authors in that. That's a bit of a worry. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. And this is where data and information starts to be there. If you're telling me that the books that are out there, there's 10,000 authors that have written books that are in Newcastle City libraries, and I'm sure there are, I'm sure it's just a limited data set, then 104, that's not many. But if we're saying, hey, have you seen what's going on lately? We're living that there George Orwell's world, man, 1984. Tell you what, them pros, that Ministry of Truth and all that. Then, 104 authors. Well, hey, that might be fair, a lot. We might be watching that number going down and down and down. Context is everything with your numbers. And that's the thing. If you can't get your numbers to tell you what's going on, there's not much value that they're going to deliver for you. So you want to work in big data, you want to do all this business intelligence stuff, you want to get really into there. Sorry, not business intelligence, who wants to do that? Like the big deep learning stuff. Where does it all come from? What's it all about? One last thing I want to give you, just to help you, have a think through it. This is a chart that I think is really key. This is everything that we need to understand. What do we do now? We're trying to get information out, and then we want to be able to optimize that and actually really deliver real foresight. So right now, the default position of all of your reports and all your analytics, and where you have to start from really, is descriptive analytics. Hindsight, what happened? We sold 5 million units last month. We sold 100,000 of these last week. We did XY. Take your pick. Hi. Insights is then the next one. So based on that, we predict. Predictive analytics. We want to build a model that can predict the future. I want to be able to know how much am I going to sell next month? How much am I going to sell next year? How much is this YouTube channel going to take off in the next 5 years? That kind of thing, yeah? Those are the two things we can really get our heads around. A lot of people can get buy-in for that. The third one, prescriptive analytics. That's the one that really, it's tough. Because how can we make it happen is a real game changer. That's the one that's difficult. Well, not difficult to get your head around. It's really complex. How can I make my sales double? What do I need to do to make my cost of goods sold 20% lower? What do I need to do to break into a new marketplace? Prescriptive analytics. Now, prescriptive analytics, they are the holy grail. They are the most complex. They are the thing that is really difficult to do. The difficulty, and the biggest difficulty you have with most businesses is, most businesses, no matter what they want to say, are stuck in the descriptive analytics phase. They might flirt with predictive analytics, but I guarantee, dollars to donuts, they'll be sitting there going, "Oh, you told me I was going to sell 10% extra next year. It's now been that year, and I only sold 9% extra. Your whole thing's rubbish." Why, of course it is. It's predictive analytics. It's not a crystal ball. It's a best guess approximation, and the mathematical models are getting better and better. Business intelligence, the data modeling, the way I've been banging on at you since day one, get your models right. Get the model in the right shape. If you don't shape your data properly, you won't be able to get the right information out of it. If you can't get the right information out of it, you can't optimize and then get more insights out of it. So one follows on from the other. And I'm a firm believer there's no shortcuts with this stuff. You just have to take the time, go through, validate, stop, check, plan, do, check, act, continuous improvement, all that stuff. There's no way you can just rock up and go, "Alright, mister, tell you what, I've got a prescriptive analytics model here." Tell you who that guy is. He's the Pied Piper. And we all know what happened with that lot, didn't we? Right, that's it. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Stay indoors, stay safe. Catch us all on Friday.